Collingwood Knights is a community-based football team, you know, with a lot of players from different backgrounds that participate in the RecLink football competition.
I guess RecLink, we are the overarching pitch to the guys is rebuilding lives through sports and arts, and they definitely have that common denominator of coming from somewhat a disadvantaged background, and that kind of builds that unity amongst the team, and they have something in common there. But yeah, when they come down to training in Vic Park, they really try to leave that stuff behind them and have a good laugh and a yarn and play a game of footy together.
We started the Collingwood Knights 5 years ago. The RecLink Football League had been going for some time and they didn't have a team in the catchment of Collingwood. Me being a police officer and working with a lot of our youth locally, mainly on the high-rise flats, those that just have a lot of battles in their lives, I put my hand up to get amongst the new Collingwood side. Like everything, it started reasonably slow, but we had Vic Park as a massive draw card. The RecLink Footy League doesn't really have any grounds of such stature, and we were lucky to have that as our home, and I really leveraged off that to grow up from there. The kids started to come. They started to come in droves.
I'd heard about it through friends and stuff, and they told me to come play with the footy. And at the start, I thought, I might have to pay to play footy and stuff, but when I found out it was free, and the environment it actually was, I found myself down there, and it was a big eye-opener for me. Into like another stage of my life. I played footy as a youngster in juniors and stuff, and yeah, it just got misled at a young age, and like I said, come back into footy, and RecLink gave me that kickstart again to get back into what I love. And it's like being around family, going down to Collingwood Knights, and yeah, it's just a good place to be around.
Off the saddle. Off the saddle. That's it.
Yeah, Corey's he's a great lad. He's had quite a checkered past, I guess you could say, but the improvement this year with Corey has been outstanding. As a young man, he's came in, didn't know many of the guys, and made a connection instantly. Has really improved his footy. He's come on leaps and bounds. He's got a good skill set behind him, and it's just great to see him flourishing on the back of the connection he's got at the Knights.
Corey was with us in the early days, so 5 years ago we started, and Corey's only a young bloke, skinny young bloke. He was there for maybe a season or two, then he left, and he's only just come back. But he's a lot bigger and stronger, I think he's a lot healthier. In his early days he was struggling big time. Now, his attitude, some of the things he said in past games around him wanting to be a leader, but he's not only just saying it's one thing, the actions that he's done on the field, off the field, just the way he's gone about it. He's attending meetings and meeting with people that he needs to get his life in a better place. He's doing that, so he's holding his end up there, but he's got a massive amount of passion around footy.
From coaching him, he's got a lot of talent, and he's a great mark and a very good kick at goal, and he moves really well. And the boys have really embraced him, but I think he's also come into the Knights and kept coming because of how much enjoyment he gets from it, and he's dragged a couple of players with him, and who are benefiting from the experience that's provided at the Collingwood Knights.
How good is the Knights program that we've got? Fantastic. Okay, we've had a fantastic day today, haven't we? Yeah. Okay, so play for each other, and that side-by-side mentality.
I just feel like I'm equal with everyone there, and I just love getting down there, and it's a beautiful place to be. Like my girlfriend and stuff loves coming down, and she doesn't even play football. It's just the vibe that it gives young people. Yeah, it just makes you feel comfortable and makes you want to do something with your life.
Corey's a lucky one compared to a lot of others. He has a mum that's very supportive of him, and he's got a girlfriend, Rhiannon, that comes down to the club, and she assists, doesn't play, but she assists enormously too, and I think that's straightened him, helped him a lot, having both those women in his lives, and they're good people to have.
Well, my girlfriend, she's drug-free and all that stuff, and she didn't just give me the opportunity just to stop and choose her. She actually helped me through it. I was on drugs when I first got with her, and she accepted that, but she's seen the real me before, so she's helped me get to that stage and get off drugs.
Unfortunately, drugs is a big one, and anger, and two mixes, particularly the anger bit. Playing football, throwing a bit of leather up between 40 of them. It's probably one of the worst things you can do as far as emotions in a game of football, but it's their passion to play it. So they want to be there for the football, can't always handle that and harness that, but that's our job to work with that, because they need a reason to connect, and the football is about the connection. And then, but we're opening ourselves up for some real some hard gigs, but that's why we're there. That's why we're trying to turn their lives around a little bit.
I think it's very, very important. It's kept kids out of jail. It's kept some lads alive, essentially. There's some concerns away from footy for these guys, and they really value their time when they're at the Knights. So it's great to see it's available, and Collingwood's ongoing support, I suppose, is really valuable to the program succeeding, and Reclink supporting what we do here at the Knights and providing that safety net, I suppose.
All right, guys. 1, 2, 3, Knights! Captain, let's go, Corey.
Yeah, I got chosen grand final day, luckily, to be captain, and it felt like a big privilege to me, because I felt like a big mentor. Like, I felt like I could keep him in line on the field if anything went wrong, and yeah, it was just it was good for me, because it's just, like I said, taking another step in my life where I'm not just becoming good, I'm actually showing others how to become good.
He's one of our guys that this year is playing at Parkside, so he's playing, he's transitioned, he plays with us at the Knights, midweek footy for those that have that time, but he's also playing outside of that in mainstream footy.
Yeah, I started off with the Knights, and it was like a kick in the ass to get back into local footy, which I have now. I'm playing for Parkside Football Club.
And doing well. He kicked 4, played 3 or 4 games, didn't kick a goal, kicked 4 in one game, and they got over the line. And I read it in the paper, he was in the paper, his name was in the paper, so something like that is enormous for a guy like Corey.
Tackle hard, play your man, win the quarters, we'll get the result. Let's get it, boys.
Having Corey back with our club and also playing outside of it, it's still having the challenges. They'll probably never go away, but he's addressing them. He's going a lot further down the track to help himself.
Because I've developed so much, I've become good so quickly. I feel like I can sort of mentor some of the guys that have just come into it or struggling, and it's sort of a place where we just support each other and just help each other out.
I love the environment. I came down as a volunteer a couple of years ago, and I'm lucky enough the agency I work for support the program. We really see it as a valuable tool to engage guys into treatment and support services. I must say I'm hooked. The environment's fantastic. Group of guys is great. Being involved with Reclink, it's a really good program.
They don't have to turn up. It's not like a lot of programs. Me being a police officer, the court tells them they've got to go. Because they've been bad, smack, you got to go and play footy with geeks. There's none of that. They come because they want to come. So clearly, they want to be there for their own reasons. The main thing is they love to be connected to something, and we profess that at the Collingwood Knights. So I've always grown a club, not just a program. We're pseudo parents. We're transitioning them out of football into better parts of their lives, opening up doors, all the stuff that I probably took for granted in a way, because it was just I had it. I can see that they don't, and they deserve it.
Pick it up!
For me as a coach, it's great to be successful and winning games, but I guess first and foremost we want to bring the guys in together into a team environment, make them really enjoy the experience, and at the same time through the Collingwood Football Club, the Victoria Police, YSAS and Headspace, give these guys some support and try and sort of assist them in making changes, because a lot of them do want to change where they're at with their lives and just need that support and people to genuinely care and have an interest in their lives and see how they're going, because they can make changes, and once you get to know them, they're a fantastic bunch of people.
I suppose we try to empower the players to learn skills they have at training, to take that into their private lives and their work lives and their school lives and education. So really build on their confidence and challenge them to improve away from the club. So yeah, just that positive reinforcement holds weight later on in the week and when they're not with us.
Yeah, it's like the light at the end of the tunnel will come back on for me, and I'm just about there. And like I was told Shane and Geeks here, Reclink is actually the best thing that's happened to me in my life, to get me away from my other lifestyle that I was misled into.
They say football's 90% above the shoulders, and it's spot on. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that come through the Knights, above the shoulders is their biggest problem. So You know, they've got the skill below that and that they can play, but when it all goes arrears, they don't quite fit into the mould of mainstream stuff. So therefore, you know, without the likes of the Knights and the Reclink League, they probably wouldn't. They'd be just kicking at the park and not fulfilling, you know, what they want to do.
What are these men doing? Why are they engaging in such extreme violence and wearing such tiny pants? This, and this, and this is Australian football.
So I can announce today that we've now formally signed up the New York Magpies as our first international supporter group. They're a great club based in Manhattan, playing AFL footy games in the US, both men and women's teams, and they've been very successful. In fact, they won the 2010 Premiership the same year that we won the Premiership, and there's a great alignment and partnership.
The New York Magpies are the New York-based USAFL footy club. We consist of 2 men's teams and 1 women's team. We're currently ranked about number 3 or 4 in the men's top division. We're the only men's club in the New York region.
It's a really great partnership, and all the supporters now are Collingwood members. They've all signed up, and it's all part of our international strategy to say, doesn't matter where you are around the world, if you're a Collingwood supporter and you want to be connected to the club, then that's something we can facilitate.
So we have probably about 25 women on our team. I would say maybe 4 to 5 Australian. And of those Australians, I think actually none of them had ever played before they came to New York. So everyone's new trying the sport. The Australian women definitely understand it a little bit better and know what kicking is supposed to look like and handballing and everything like that. But we're all kind of learning it together. So it keeps it interesting and then keeps the American women on their toes. We know a lot of the Collingwood team, and we also have this side-by-side motto that we share.
We play AFL rules. All the rules are assimilated to the USAFL. The only major different rule is that we have to field at all times. Half the team has to be nationals, so American, and then the other half can be either non-nationals, Irish, or primarily Australian.
After high school and college, there really aren't that many outlets for women to play in team sports, competitive team sports. So playing on this team kind of gives them this competitive aspect, lets them learn a new sport, and then they also get a good social aspect.
Yeah, I was with my family in New York in 2010. My old man and I realised it was Caulfield Cup Day back in Melbourne, so we thought, where can we go and watch the Caulfield Cup? We thought the only place we'd probably be able to go is the Australian hotel might have it, so we went there and had a few beers and tried to get it on, and the guys were trying to do it for us, and we just got chatting to a couple of the barmen there who were Australians, and they filled us in on the fact that the New York Magpies had won the Premiership only a few weeks earlier, same as what we had in 2010, so they were having their presentation night the next night, and I said to him, oh look, if you look after my old man's drinks for us tonight, I'll come back and do the presentations for you. He started laughing, he goes, mate, you and your old man drink here for the rest of your life for nothing, whether you come back or not, and I said, right, I'll come back, and I went back the next night for a couple of hours, and they were a pretty rowdy bunch. Their cup is like a ridiculous size, like double the size of our Premiership Cup, and they were good fun, and it was a good experience to meet them and love their footy, and it's great now that the Collingwood Footy Club are, I guess, having a more official relationship. There's been a relationship of sorts over the years, but now there's going to be more of an official relationship. Is great. You can just see that the Collingwood supporters and the Magpie Army is just huge. It's all over the world, so it's great that we're getting supported internationally as well. I'm going back to New York in November with my wife, so hopefully I'll catch up with them all again.
All wins are good. Given the circumstances, given where Geelong, what was hinging on a game for them, because obviously it was, it was bust for them if they lose, and they were playing really good footy, and certainly they had pretty significant for our young players. I thought it was a real step for us.
We've been sort of up and down through the season, the VFL, and last week was a good win, and to get a good win today, Geelong, they were playing for pretty much their season, so it was good for the boys to really perform today.
The first quarter we pretty much controlled the game, we controlled territory, we were winning contests, and we sort of lost our momentum, and on the back of losing the contest, we started to lose elements of our game. So it was our contest that we had to get better at. It was all on the back of contests, and all the other parts of our game started to grow, and the boys got some confidence.
I think throughout the game I was working pretty hard. I was playing mainly ruck, and then in the last quarter went down forward, and I got one good grab and started to stick the hands, and I kicked one goal, and I think we were down by 16. So felt like I got the boys going, and yeah, just after that started to pluck a few.
It's a great time of year to be playing footy, as I said to the young boys the other night. It's a great opportunity to be playing footy. The weather only gets better, and our young players and even our experienced players, the guys that have played a bit of AFL footy, they're going to get some exposure in red-hot games of footy, over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, hopefully. So, you can only benefit from that. You can only benefit from playing finals football, and there's enough evidence to suggest that clubs and Geelong in question, they've been really strong at this time of the year over the last 10 or 12 years, and it's sort of rolled onto their AFL program, and they've become a real, one of the strong powerhouses of the competition, and our young guys are going to get an opportunity to embrace that challenge over the next months. So it should be something we really look forward to, and let's see where it takes us. Everyone played their part and found a way. All the things that we continually talk about and hear from myself, Bucks, all the other coaches, the line coaches, just all those little nuances in the game, find a way. What the message should be to you and within yourselves, whoever plays here, you can find a way and do it. Okay, absolutely, really proud of the effort, but you guys should be prouder than the most, because you guys do it.
We provide high quality nutrition services for the players. They've basically got many goals, so we need to build a foundation of the diet, so for good health, well-being and immunity. And then on top of that, we start to work with performance. So we need to make sure that they get the right amount of nutrients, so carbohydrate, protein and fats. And then we work from that to help with performance, but also recovery. So obviously going into game or to properly fuel training and get the right adaptations from training, we need to provide the right amount of carbohydrate and protein. We write individual programs for all players, depending on what their goals might be. Most are performance focused, and then some also have their body composition goals, which we focus on in the pre-season.
So the players have weights training today. We're going to make some yogurts for them, some trifles with some chia pod, and also just some smoothies just to help get their protein intake after their weights. They need about 20 grams of protein, so we use a high protein yogurt. We'll put some fruit in there, some seeds, so chia seeds, and some nuts. We put out a snack trolley for the players that they can have after training or in between training sessions or after the gym. Just something that's quick, easy, on the go, but healthy. The chia is to increase the omega-3 content, also the fibre and the protein. And again, it's a whole food, it's natural, and the players enjoy having it in there as well. So the chia pods are a great on-the-go snack. They're really easy. The boys come and pull them out of the fridge. They really are high in nutrition, got lots of omega-3, protein and fibre as well, which is good to have in the diet. You can add those easily to cereal, to your muesli in the morning, to smoothies. Chia are a great snack. They fit within the guidelines for a healthy snack. And they keep you feeling fuller for longer. So they're not just good for athletes, they're good for everybody.
The synopsis of the game, obviously poor on two fronts. One was the performance, which was very disappointing, but the injury front as well, which is probably my time in AFL footy, 30 odd years, it's probably the most rare event that I've seen. Scott Pendlebury, another random event, coming off 2 corkies in his thigh from last week's game, and very professional, and did everything possible and trained well during the week, and then got a ball kicked on it 15 minutes before the game that re-bled, went into a spasm, so that's why he didn't play. He will be at test this week, but more than likely will be available. Dane Beams was the next one, so another quality player who's knee hyperextended by contact.
Oh, gee, that's straight knee, Jared. You go a bit better than me in those sort of situations. Could be anything, sure.
But we dodged a bullet there as well, so there was no ligament damage. We thought it might initially be a PCL. But if his leg would push back probably even another couple of centimetres, probably would have done the ACL.
Because there has been a major injury with Reid pulling up short, playing in defence, and he looks like he's popped a calf or a hamstring.
Then Ben Reid in the first few minutes, just from a simple turning and able to take off, so there was no sprint involved either. So he'll be the rest of the season, as you would imagine. Then we lost Travis. His ankle landed heavily on it, and what's called the syndesmosis, which runs in the middle of your leg to hold a tendon together. So he strained that. It's not as bad as we first thought, even though he's in a lot of pain on Saturday night. So it's a grade 1. So it's looked likely to be 3 to 4 weeks. So he's probably unlikely that he'll play this year again. Alan Tuvey, on top of that, hurt his groin during the third quarter, got tight, so he won't play this week. He's unavailable. So out of that, all the injuries are either to quality players or experienced players. So it'll be even though we're a young team and probably the 4th youngest, or we are the 4th youngest squad in the competition, we'll be a lot younger this week. So it's a good chance, a good opportunity for some players who might get their first game, but also a chance for our young players to stand up.
The prestigious Collingwood Forever Gala will be held at Palladium Crown next Wednesday, the 27th of August. More than 200 past players will be attending to honour and celebrate the rich history of the Collingwood Football Club. Dacos, Shaw, Tuddenham, Moore, Lucuria, Burns and Wiedemann are just a few of the Collingwood greats who will be in attendance. Rub shoulders with these legends and hear never before told stories about their experiences playing for the most prominent club in the land. A limited number of tickets are still available to this once-in-a-lifetime event. Visit forever.collingwoodfc.com.au for further details.
I love being a member of the Magpie Army.
Because I'm part of one of the biggest sporting clubs in the world. I love sharing my dreams.
There are a million others that bleed black and white like me.
And it's in my blood.
This jumper makes me feel 10 feet tall. A packed MCG every week.
Collingwood domination, envy of the nation.
We